Should someone have to have a government-issued license to drive a car?
Hell no.
What's next? Requiring a license to make toast in your own damn toaster?
The license to drive? You know, I'd like to see some competency exhibited by people before they drive.
Whenever the libertarians come out en masse, you know something unhinged is about to happen.
Have stricter gun laws?
Test to drive a car?
Do you think?
You don't have to have an IQ test to have a gun, do you?
Well, you actually have to take a test to drive a car. You need to learn how to drive it safely.
You think you're smart enough because you took a test?
Did you pass a driver's test to drive?
No. I'd learn to drive out in the woods.
But you had to get a driver's license. You had to get a driver's license, right?
For what?
To drive a car.
Why do you need a driver's license to drive a car? Do you know how to drive a car?
You have to have one to drive a car, though.
That's
it's the law.
Suggestion.
Regardless of whether or not this guy identifies as a libertarian or knows who they are, he still echoes their core, defining belief. The individual is always more important than the collective. The good liars have sparred with these folks on numerous occasions before, and they were back in action again at the recent Libertarian National Convention that featured the likes of this dude.
Shut down the FBI. Shut down the ATF. Shut down the CDC. Shut down the U.S. Department of Education. Fire 75% of the federal bureaucrats in Washington, D.C., and send them home packing because they never should have had that job in the first place. Rescind every unconstitutional federal regulation that Congress never passed. SEC to FTC to FDA to TSA. I call that one thousands standing around, by the way. God knows what.
And this absolute buffoon.
And they asked me why I wasn't wearing a mask, which nobody was except for the NBC film crew. And they said, wasn't I scared of dying of COVID? And I said to them, there's a lot worse things than dying. That's right. And they said to me, like what? And I said, like living like a slave.
But the real stars of the show weren't the guest speakers, but rather the audience members in attendance and how they reacted to the speakers.
Well, what are your thoughts on Donald Trump speaking here tomorrow?
I can't repeat what I'm thinking.
It sounds like it's not a good thing, though.
It was ridiculous. He has his own platforms. He doesn't need ours. We pay for our own mics. We pay for our own dais. We pay for our own conventions. He has his own.
How do you feel about Donald Trump speaking at the Libertarian National Convention?
If he was coming here to debate our candidates, and this is true for Joe Biden or anybody else, I would welcome that. But he's not coming here to debate us. He wouldn't even debate his fellow Republicans all primary season. He ducked the debates. You know, they were calling him Donald Duck, which I thought was very fitting.
If you could give a message to Donald Trump, what would it be?
Go away.
And why are you angry that Trump's going to be featured here?
It's insulting that, one of our opponents, especially from the duopoly, is taking up our convention space.
Yeah. And what are you planning on saying?
You'll wait and see.
It may surprise you that members of the taxation is theft and eliminating the federal government party would be this vocally against Trump, and to their credit, they have some valid criticisms. Everyone at the convention, except for the MAGA fans, know that Trump is only there to scrape the bottom of the barrel for as many votes as possible, which did not go as planned.
A lot of people ask why I came to speak at this Libertarian Convention, and it's an interesting question, isn't it?
Trump was visibly shaken after his entrance received this response. And the boo birds kept coming after him over and over and over again.
Anyone can talk about defending freedom, but I've actually put everything on the line to resist these despots and these stuff. Now I think you should nominate me or at least vote for me, and we should win together. You heard those words. Nominate me or vote. Vote for me. Because the Libertarians want to vote for me, and most of them will. And it's very important.
Nothing says these people will vote for me quite like getting booed and heckled by the most active and involved members of the party's base. You can even tell from Trump's voice that he doesn't believe his own sales pitch and is feeling the weight of the hostile crowd, much different than the usual high-energy screeds he usually goes on at his own rallies.
In this election, we need your help. We need your support. When I'm in the White House, you will always find an open door to the Oval Office.
Trump is acting exactly like his cult members do here, pouting and whining when things don't go their way and eventually snapping when it becomes too much for them to handle.
Only if you want to win. Only if you want to win. Maybe you don't want to win. Maybe you don't want to win. Thank you. No, only do that if you want to win. If you want to lose, don't do that. Keep getting your 3% every 4 years.
This may be one of Trump's biggest self-owns of all time. The sheer irony of begging a group of voters, then flipping on the same group you're pandering to, and then downplaying their impact while you're still speaking at their event. It's a perfect encapsulation of the clown show, of our entire political system, and how it has always been. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.